After 46 seasons and 10 championship rings, I've seen everybody from Wes Baylor and Chamberlain, Magic, Kareem and Worthy, Shaq and Kobe, and now LeBron and Anthony Davis. I've watched this world change as well as the game of basketball. After 93 years, I've just about seen it all. But I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen a team endure as much as today's Lakers. And as we continue on this journey, lined with uncertainties, I know one thing to be true. Don't ever count out the Los Angeles Lakers. After 46 seasons and 10 championship rings, I've seen everybody from Wes Baylor and Chamberlain, Magic, Kareem and Worthy, Shaq and Kobe, and now LeBron and Anthony Davis. I've watched this world change as well as the game of basketball.
Alrighty, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are officially on championship number 17 watch. I'm your host, LAJ, proud and happy, excited. All the nerves are flying out the window, and man, am I excited for today's show. Let me bring on our guest, as always, the man, the myth, the gentleman that's been with LA sports since, man, I don't even know when, but he's been in LA, a diehard fan. Proud to have him on. Mike, the great. How you doing today?
What's going on, LAJ?
Oh, great.
Happy, man.
How you doing?
You pulled it off last night.
Yeah. How's your day going so far?
Oh, just celebration, bro. Just relaxing, basking in the glory of being 3-1 on the doorstep to number 17.
Woo. Man, last night was a little too close for comfort, to be honest. I mean, it was a great win, but it was a little too close for comfort. A win is a win, but still, little too close for my liking. But what did you like about last night? What did you see? What are some things that you saw that you liked?
Well, Caldwell Pope showed up big time, and Rondo. Those two guys are to any championship. You have to have a couple intangibles. Someone just kind of rest your laurels on. And Pope and Rondo really came through for LeBron and AD. And LeBron and AD hit some big shots down the stretch, but these guys made some great plays defensively and offensively. Rondo, made that layup when she had missed a few early on, and the broadcaster, I think it was Jackson, made a very good point. He went up with his left hand 2 times and missed it.
Yeah.
This third time in the fourth quarter, he went up with his right hand and made sure he made that layup, and that was huge. And LeBron was LeBron. I mean, earlier on I was talking co-MVPs, kind of spurting out some madness, but, LeBron James is the MVP, no doubt. I mean, of course, without AD, LeBron doesn't win this chip
exactly.
coming up. We're anticipating a win. We still got to get this win out. Right now, I'm wearing my Kobe jersey in honor of Kobe, and I understand they're gonna wear the Black Mamba jerseys on Friday.
Man, it's over. It's done. So, they're undefeated in those jerseys. It's done deal. Championship number 17. It's a damn shame we don't have an official jerseys. It's a damn shame we don't have an official parade going on with the trophy, with the actual trophy passing by. It sucks. But Lakers last night, Anthony Davis did his thing in the fourth quarter. And here's one thing that I love a lot about Anthony Davis. The adjustments that these Laker players make. And, they got burned by Jimmy Butler game 3. They got burned up, 40 points, triple-double. That's admiration, tip of the cap. So Anthony Davis said, hey, I want Jimmy Butler in Game 4. And he took the responsibility. Jimmy Butler didn't go for 40. I can tell you that. Jimmy Butler didn't go for 40 last night. But he took the responsibility of locking down or attempting to perform the stopping of Jimmy Butler. And huge admiration. What did Jimmy Butler score last night? 22 and 10 compared to 40.
Right.
I mean, huge difference. And Jimmy Butler is averaging 25 to 30, so he kept them up under his averages, his postseason averages. That's also key and huge.
I think Butler was tired.
I mean, you drop 40 points and damn.
Yeah, I think he was tired, and from his performance he had, he really had a great performance. The game before, and those 40 points took a lot. Look, you're going to expend a lot of energy on one end and then try to come back and play defense. And Jimmy Butler had a great game. I mean, one for the ages. You won't see something like that in a while, where he's on both ends doing whatever. He imposed his will. That's the phrase I hear a lot. He imposed his will for them to win. But the cost, what was the cost of that performance? And the cost is going to be, he ain't going to be able to carry the load now. It's a done deal. The Lakers are just too deep, too tall, too long, too talented, and they have a bunch of guys that can do a lot of different things. And, like I said, James knows. He had tweeted out that he couldn't sleep. He was having issues. He was just real anxious for this game. And he knew Game 4 was going to be the telltale sign.
Yeah.
Look, you lose that game, they're 2-2, and Miami has hope. And now they're looking at a 3-1 deficit. I know teams have come back from 3-1 deficits, but it's very, very rare. Vegas odds makers, that Lakers are a lock, and it's all pretty much a done deal. But we got to go through the motions. We will. Friday's going to be a big game. You got to bring energy. The Lakers got to bring energy, and they got to show the Heat what's up, that we are the champions, and show the East Coast they need to shut their mouth all the way from Boston, Massachusetts, all the way down to Miami, Florida. They could kiss our ass. We are the 2020. We actually went into their hood. We went into their neighborhood in Miami and into Florida,
and snatching that.
And we went in there and took over and took the championship. I hear a lot of stuff too. Mike Wilbon today was talking about Milwaukee and how they were supposed to be the team to beat. They had the league MVP. MVP and all that other stuff it's just dressing. The bottom line is a championship.
Yep.
Say whatever you want about who's the greatest pitcher, who's the greatest ball player, who's the MVP. I never like MVP on my team because it's a team effort. I mean, if you have if you have the greatest player on your team, then the focal point is that player. Well, we have LeBron James. He's one of the better players in the end, probably the best player in the playoffs, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the playoffs that matter. It's not the regular season. You think LeBron would rather have an MVP of the playoffs or MVP of the regular season?
Obviously, the finals. You want to have
That's
that
right.
finals.
You want to have the final MVP.
Yeah, we remember. Yeah, we know about MVPs, but they get forgotten. Like, I don't know who the 1956 MVP of the league was. I don't know who the league MVP of the 1976 season was. We don't remember that well. You have to go research. But you talk about champions, you remember who won a championship. You might not remember every single player on that team, but you know who won that title, who won that championship that year. So obviously it is more important. And I've got a list, man. You can't see it, but I'm collecting what we call now receipts of people that chose either the Clippers or the Heat to win it all. And when that buzzer rings, I don't know how or long it's gonna take me, but I got a huge list of names and people that just disrespected LeBron James, disrespected the Lakers, and really much just outmatched their performance. Just blew them out of the water. And I'm happy that these people are so wrong. But it also gives me joy to know that if they can make it, hey, why not us? Why not regular Joes like you and me who obviously aren't that dumb? Well, we could be dumb, so why not get paid to be just as dumb, right? So that's what drives me to do this. But talking about the East Coast, I had a great I can't even say it was an argument because I obviously won that debate, that argument. This Boston fan, I went onto somebody's page and they were talking about Boston being mad, legit mad, and talking trash this morning about the Lakers. And 17th is not, worth it. It's not a title, blah, blah, blah. Boston in tears. So right. I go in there and I start, throw a meme out there talking about how racist Boston is. Some guy from Boston goes in there and says, well, LeBron James experienced this. And, LeBron had that racial slur at his house. And obviously I'm like, yeah, it's true. It happened. But those people in Brentwood, they're weird. They're that type of people. I don't expect anything less from those type of scum. So I went on and I said, I agree. But look at everything else that Boston has done, from corruption, racial slurs at Fenway, at the Boston Garden, athletes, including most recently Marcus Smart. He had a story where he rolled his window down in 2019. This lady was crossing the street with her kid, and he rolled his window down after a game, mind you. And he said, hey, excuse me, miss. Nothing disrespectful. It was, excuse me, miss. You better be careful because you might get run over. And the lady turned around and said, shut your fucking mouth, N-word. Like, literally, we're talking about minutes after the game. Marcus Smart looking out for a lady with her kid. And this lady turns around and calls him the N-word. And that's out of the Boston Globe. The Boston Globe. So it's not a, regular blog out there some regular kid just wrote up. No, this is from the Boston Globe. Then you also have the mayor saying there's a racial crisis going on in Boston. And that was in 2020. You also have Torrey Hunter. You have several athletes that went out in record and said, yes, I was being racially discriminated while I was playing at Fenway, out in the right field, left field, center field, out in the outfield.
Yeah.
So these stories you hear about this. So I threw this out there at him, including that story, infamous story. Bill Russell wins the championship. Days later, goes to a diner, gets kicked out because it's an all-white diner.
Yeah, that was in the early 60s, I believe. 64.
In Boston. You win a championship and you get kicked out. He goes to a hotel. Red Auerbach, their coach at the time, demanded that they apologize to Bill Russell and the team. And the manager of the hotel said no. To Red Auerbach's face, a white man. So you hear these stories about Boston, their athletes and their performance, and now you're starting to wonder why these athletes are starting to leave and not really be wanting to stay in Boston.
Yeah, Mookie Betts didn't want to stay in Boston.
Yeah.
He wanted to come to LA. He knows the diversity of Los Angeles. And,
exactly.
The West Coast in general. Well, I can't talk too much about northern the United States. Seattle, they have their issues. You can see all that stuff that's happening in the news. But the diversity in Southern California, but even in Southern California, when you get to some parts of Southern California, you have racial issues.
Yes. No doubt.
But for the majority, the athletes here are treated really, really good. I mean, we really appreciate our stars, our Dodgers, our Lakers, our Ram players, even the Angels and the Clippers.
We might clown them once in a while, but at the end of the day, we're not gonna go and step over bounds and call them racial slurs like that.
No.
So yeah, I had this debate with him. I hit him with those facts. Then he went on and hit me with, well, our African American ratio in Boston is a lot higher than in Los Angeles. And it made me think, well, what is a population in Boston? So I went out and I found out that the population of Boston is not even at 700,000 people, as opposed to Los Angeles, where we're at close to, if not already, at 4 million.
4 million people,
the best example I could give is in Boston, if there's 10 people and 3 of them are African American, that's a 30% ratio. Whereas you have 6 times more the amount of people in Los Angeles, so that 10 people now turns into 60. And if you have the same 3 black people, that's not 30%. So obviously the numbers are a lot different. So that he hit me with that. So obviously I went on and I said, yeah, but your population. Then he went on and hit me, well, LA has less championships than Boston. I kind of got a little like, maybe. That sounds interesting. That sounds a little weird. I don't think so. The Lakers have, 11 in LA. You got the Dodgers 5 with LA. So I started doing the math, and then he sent me an article, and I started reading it, and it was like, okay, yeah, they have 36. Boston, the city, has 36 titles. So then I started looking.
That includes their hockey team.
Yeah, and then he started going on saying, well, you guys got 8 teams, and I started thinking, what 8 teams? Because for the most of the time in the 90s and 2000s, early 2000s and mid 2010s, we didn't have a football team. We were a USC team. So after 94, the Rams left and they didn't come back until 2017, just 3 years ago. And we didn't ask for the Chargers.
5 in 2015.
Oh, really?
They came back.
Their first year, wasn't it in 2017?
No, they came back in 15.
15, okay. So they came back in 15. So that was 5 years ago. We didn't ask for the Chargers. We didn't ask for the LAFC football club. Those teams were added to our team. They were added to us. We didn't want them. So in reality, for a bulk of the time, we had 5 teams: the Lakers, Dodgers, Kings, Galaxy, and the Sparks. Those are our 5 major sports.
That's you can encompass the Angels championship. Nah. But see, that's the same thing when you talk about Foxborough. It's not in Boston.
Exactly. See?
They're in the suburbs.
You see? These things come up when you start talking about them. See, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know
Foxborough's not in the city.
Boston?
Yeah, it's not. They're not in the city. They're in the suburbs.
Thank
you.
So
it's an area, right?
Okay.
It's an area. It's just like the New York Giants. They play in the Meadowlands. They don't play in New York City. I mean, it's a general. The bottom line is this: the championships won in Boston, in the city of Boston, would be the Celtics.
The Celtics and Red Sox.
And the Red Sox.
Yeah. Oh, and the Bruins. The Bruins.
And the Bruins. But the Patriots, they play in the suburbs, but they call them they're called New England. They're not called the Boston Patriots. They're New England Patriots. They
He just made my day. He just made
my day. I mean, yeah.
My God. So then, formally technicality, that means we would have to add the Anaheim Ducks and the Angels, right?
The Ducks and the Angels, yes. If you want to talk about championships within a 50-mile radius of the city of Los Angeles.
Interesting. See, now I can hit them back with that because you learn something new every day. So that's great to hear. So now we got 3 more titles that we could add to the LA glory that is, or the LA lure. So basically, this is where I'm at right now with this guy. I hit him with LA has 28, about to be 29 by Friday with the Lakers championships. The oldest established team for LA is 1946, the Los Angeles Rams.
Rams, yes.
They won 2 titles themselves before the NFL, so they still count as championships because they're
they're NFL. That is something that I've always argued with other people, usually Raider fan. I said, well, we have Super Bowls. I said, well, the Rams have NFL championships. Well, that doesn't count. Well, sure it does. That the NFL is an organization, and it goes back to 100 years or something. So 40, even in the 30s, so almost 100 years. It's been a 100-year anniversary. So we have 2 NFL championships here in Los Angeles. Those count. Those are legitimate football championship teams.
Yes, sir.
So, and that's why I want the Rams to win so badly in LA.
Bro. Oh, me too. Man.
The Rams need to win a championship in LA to legitimize the Super Bowl championship. And then you could probably count the Raiders championship.
Yes,
if you want to count LA championships, because they were in LA when they won it.
Let me hit this bell. So see, there's all these championships that are in LA, and this guy was including because at one point the Braves, before they moved on to Atlanta, they were in Boston. They were called the Boston Braves, and they won a championship there.
Right.
So he started including that, but started missing out the Spark, started missing out the Galaxy. So it made us look like we only had 22 titles. But I came up with 9 on my own, and now you're telling me that Foxborough isn't even in Boston, and it's a 50-mile radius. So that's taking away. It's either you take away those 6 from Brady and New England, or we add the Raiders, we add the Ducks and the Angels. So what is it? So I hit him with all that, and then I also told him,
if you want to, that's history though. We're talking about today.
Yes. So talking about today,
right? I mean, the Boston fan is upset because they don't have shit. The Celtics haven't won in such a long time, and the Red Sox just recently won a World Series, and they had to cheat the Dodgers for theirs. So there's a whole 100 year before that since when they traded away Babe Ruth, they had the curse of the Bambino, and Boston every year would lose every year to the Yankees.
Yep.
And I hate the Yankees too. I mean, I have a bias to the East Coast because they don't give us our props for our championships and our teams.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? It's no longer just the East Coast. All those suckers that are back there that are broadcasters that talk shit about, and the Midwest, like, they talk shit about the West Coast and talk about the Los Angeles area. Well, they all want to come here.
Yep.
We have the best weather. We do. We have the best weather in the country. We have earthquakes in a while, but hey, everybody wants to live here.
Yep.
The best looking women. You ever go back east and see those chicks back there? Look like friggin', they're all friggin' as white as a sheet. None of them have a tan, and and they got to go to tanning salons, and they got to put a shitload of makeup on to make them look any good. We have natural beauties here in the Southern California.
Yes, sir.
And I can contest to that because I married one of them.
Yes,
so
sir.
You know what? The East Coast, they could kiss my ass. We win number 17 on Friday. It is all good. And I was talking to my daughter last night. After the game, I got on. Jay, what really kills me is I can't be with my kids during this time because of the COVID. So they'll call me, and we talk on the phone, and I talk to my eldest. Yeah, we kicked their ass, Dad. Yeah, Mike, we did. I was talking to my son. And then I called my daughter, and I said, Katie, we're gonna win this championship. And she says, Dad, we need something good to happen in LA because 2020's been so bad to us here in Southern California, all over the country. But we need something positive. And I said, yeah, we need a championship in LA. We need this. And like you said, we're not going to be able to go to a parade. It's going to be tough. People are going to pop up here and there. They're going to have their little celebrations. But there won't be a mass parade where they have the players and like before. And I'm sure the mayor is going to say something about to be careful, and especially when the team comes back from the East Coast, the plane lands, there'll be probably people wanting to go to LAX to welcome the team back, but I don't know, they'll probably do it undercover and not tell anybody when they're coming back. And if they do, they'll be coming back. Different players will come back at different times. I remember the Kobe Shaq championships. I had there was a kid that I coached down in South El Monte, and his name is Francisco Chavez, and I taught him how to be an umpire, and he loved sports. He became Fred Rogan's a gopher. Then eventually he became Fred Rogan's producer on the shows. So when Kobe and Shaq won the championship, he shot me. I got a bunch of pictures. I'll post them up on my Facebook page. I have them of them coming off the plane, and there are pictures that nobody else has. They're walking out, coming down with their trophy, the MVP and the championship trophy. But then back then we knew when they were coming home. We're not going to know when LeBron's coming home because he'll be coming with his family. And AD, if he comes to LA, he might not. He might, I don't know where he's from originally. He might go to the city with his parents and stuff. So we will see what happens. But I guarantee you this, OJ, if we don't celebrate because of the COVID, next year when we have opening day, there's going to be a parade. There will be a parade. Garcetti will do something for the Lakers, and we will have some type of celebration. And that's when we can go and get, I'll drink my tequila. And I was just thinking too, buddy, the last time we won a championship, remember we celebrated at the Coliseum. Do you remember that? Oh, I lost your audio.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I remember they came down Figueroa. They had their parade, the little a small thing at Staples Center, and then they went to the Coliseum, and the Coliseum was jam packed. I mean, 100,000 people. People woke up at 4 or 5 in the morning to line up and be inside the Coliseum. Yeah, I remember Boom Boom Pow. I remember the signs, Kobe. I remember all that. Yeah.
Well, my kids were there.
Oh,
my two older boys, Michael and Albert. I went with my compadre and my son Paul. At the time was 10. And we were able to be on the parade route. We tried to get inside the Coliseum, but I didn't want to chance it. I had the 10-year-old. It was just, like you said, just a shitload of people everywhere.
Yes.
But my boys got in, and their friends. And they said, they took pictures, and it was, Dad, we had a great time. I said, I'm glad you guys went, because, we don't know when, and, that was true. I don't know when they're going to win again. And my middle boy, Albert, says, Dad, I wish I could be with you on Friday. I want to take a COVID test. I said, you know what? You're out and about in the community now. You need to stay away from your mother and I. We need to be quarantined. We don't want to get sick. I just had, this is kind of a downer, but my sister wrote me that my brother-in-law, his sister, her 2 sons, and some other relatives went to a birthday party a few weeks ago. All of them with COVID, and a few of them are in the hospital. I got that text about 2 hours ago. So, this COVID thing is very real. I don't want to get it. I'm 62. I got underlying health conditions. I don't want to experience it. I'm not like Trump that has every medication to my fingertips to get me well on this thing. So
the miracle that is Trump, he survived in 3 days. How did he beat COVID in 3 days?
Well, he took some experimental drugs, and the FDA are not signing off on them. He was pretty sick, man, last Friday.
Yeah.
So they gave him some really crazy new experimental steroid drugs, and it seems to be working. Just remember that just because his fever's down and everything doesn't mean he's not still infected with this thing. This COVID is no joke. So I'm just gonna stay away and just celebrate by myself and my wife and my other boy that are here with me. And we're just gonna celebrate.
Imagine next year it starts off with, instead of opening up for the Lakers or the Dodgers, the mayor decides, hey, both our teams won. So such and such date, we're going to have one giant parade for the Dodgers and the Lakers.
Hey, wouldn't that be something?
Oh, my
God. If
the
Dodgers win the World Series, the Lakers win the championship, and we mark a day sometime in March of next year.
My mind will not be, I would be so... I wouldn't be able to contain myself. I honestly wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do. 2 parades, 2 championships?
Yeah.
Down the same street? All the
1988.
Major oh, my God.
It'll be 1988 all over again.
Jeez, but in 1988, it was like the Lakers. It was the Lakers first, and then it was
Lakers
Dodgers, right?
first, yeah.
Yeah, so this time, imagine both of them at the same time, and they both give out speeches. Hey, I would legit, my chills.
That would be the ultimate, bro.
They would say,
that would be the ultimate.
If they were to say, this is for you, LA, and this is for you, Kobe. Oh, my God. Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
And for Vinny, Vince Scully, and for Tommy, and all, Tom. We lost this year. We lost Tommy Davis. We lost some great Dodgers
in 1 week. Yeah, not even in 1 week. It was like in 3 days we lost 3 big. Jay Johnstone, David. Yeah, we lost some major players. Yeah. Oh my God, that's right. And then last year
we lost Sweet Lou.
We lost Newcomb. Man.
Yeah, Newcomb. We've lost some mainstay Dodgers.
Yep.
And I just glad that we won the first game last night.
Absolutely. Wait, did the A's win? Because
I didn't see. I haven't checked.
Yes, sir. They won 9-7. I was about to be so pissed off that they gave up. They just got swept out of the ALDS like that. Really, you're gonna let the Astros disrespect y'all like that at our home? Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There were some rules that the Astros couldn't do some stuff at Dodger Stadium.
Oh, I'm pretty sure going to the camera room. I'm pretty sure have anybody in that dugout or having in that room. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking at the highlights right now. It says that the athletes defeat the Astros 9-7. Houston leads series 2-1. So Jay, years ago I played on a baseball team called the A's. And the reason why is I met these guys like in 1980, 81 or 82. I was at a batting cage. I was in a 90-mile-an-hour batting cage, just raking.
Damn. Okay.
Some guy says, "Hey, do you play baseball?" And I was a basketball player in high school. I could play a little football. I had a pretty good arm.
Wait, don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna eat my fruit while I listen to your great stories. So I'm gonna
no worries. So I played. I was there just raking the ball, and the guy says, "Hey, you play baseball?" I said, "I played baseball. I was in 9th grade last time I played on an organized team." He said, "Well, would you want to come out?" I said, "Yeah, I'll try out for your team." I ended up playing on this team, and they were called the Almani Angels, but they wore Oakland A's uniforms. And I'm like, what's the deal? Why are you not called the A's and not the Almani Angels? They said, well, we didn't want to be called the A's because we wanted to be called the Angels. And I said, oh, because of Los Angeles. And I said, oh, whatever. So anyway, long story short, I took over the team about a year later, and I said, we're not going to be called the Almani. We're the A's. And I coached that team to a couple of baseball championships I played on them to. And then we played softball. We were sponsored. We traveled all over the West Coast, and I had some great ball players play with me over the years. A couple of them played Major League Baseball, and one of them, I don't know if you know Chet Lemon is. He played for the Detroit Tigers. I had his brothers, Leo and Ralph, on my team. I had a guy named Marvin McWater. If you see this, if any of you guys from work see this, I'm talking about Big Mac. Big Mac played for Crenshaw High School with Darryl Strawberry. And he actually had more home runs than Strawberry's senior year.
Oh,
and he got wrecked by John Elway. They're playing at Dodger Stadium, and Elway came low and inside and blew his knee out. But McWater could hit hit a softball a country mile. And so I had some really good ball players. I had a guy named he played for Baldwin Park High School, and he played for the Yankees. He was our shortstop. But then I got a guy named Omar Khalaf, my buddy, who was a really great ball player, basketball player, and a baseball player. I had some really good ball players on my team, and we won a lot of championships. And if on my Facebook page, you'll see pictures of all those guys when we were young. But hey, I would like to see the A's beat those Astros.
Oh God, please. We're not asking for too much. Like, just look, the whole purpose of the American League right now is to defeat the Astros. The Twins couldn't do it. The Angels had the opportunity to take their spot in the postseason. Thanks a lot, Rob Manfred. If it wasn't for your dumbass, they wouldn't even be in the postseason. But you wanted to expand it to 16 teams and give everybody opportunity and spread awareness. All right. Thanks a lot, Manfred. And now he wants that bubble to have fans. Okay, that's pretty smart. That's pretty counterproductive, idiot, Manfred.
Yeah. Well, hey, how about Walker Buehler, man?
Yeah, let's talk about the Dodgers, shall we? Damn, Walker Buehler, bro. Oh my God. Look, he wasn't at his best. Let's be honest. He did not have his best stuff. Yet, he still was able to throw heat. He was living in 98 miles per hour. He was living in the high 90s. He was throwing fire. And even though it wasn't his best night, the Padres couldn't figure him out. So that only comes to prove or shows that Walker Buehler doesn't need to be elite yet in order for the Dodgers to win. Yeah, there were some errors here and there that helped out the Dodgers, but at the end of the day, Walker Buehler wasn't his best, and Padres couldn't capitalize on it. But what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, he was wild, but when you're wild, sometimes it's hard to hit, right?
Yep.
You're seeing that, like you're saying, he touched 100, 101 a couple pitches, and he got out of that jam when he's striking out the side. He walked the bases loaded. I was losing my mind, going, oh my gosh! But the guy who impressed me was Dustin May, and he came in and he didn't allow any runs. He didn't walk anybody, and he demanded the mound. He commanded the mound, and I think he could start somewhere in a playoff game. I would be happy to see him start somewhere in a playoff game. Also, Gonzalez came in and threw a shutout inning, and your boy Trenton came in.
Oh my God! Hey, I'm surprised that he actually did something productive, something good. He looked elite too. 98 miles per hour. He was throwing high heat as well. So this Dodgers pitching staff was pretty damn good, man. Like, wow.
So we got to see that tonight, right? We got to see Kershaw. Last playoff game, he had 13 strikeouts, and we got to see that from Kershaw tonight.
Yes, sir.
And we got to score some runs. I was glad to see Muncy hit a double. Mookie hit a double. I was glad to see these guys getting hits. And JT got an RBI. Belly got an RBI. Seager, your boy, got an RBI. So, the Dodgers, they did what they needed to do to win the first game, which was important. Very important. In my book, the first game of any series, 5-game series, you got to get that first win. And they got the first win. Now they can breathe a little bit. They can relax. The pressure's on the Padres. Like I said earlier about these East Coast broadcasters and so-called experts, they always talk shit about the Dodgers. Always.
Yes.
They always want to put the Dodgers, and they try to put pressure on them. They got pressure on them. They're supposed to be the best. Well, you know what? The Yankees' payroll is just as much as the Dodgers' payroll.
I think it's higher.
Yeah. Is it higher?
Let me find out for you real quick.
The pressure should be on the Yankees, Aaron Judd and these guys. And they lost. So, it's going to be, let's get this second game tonight, Kershaw Day. Let's go ahead and have Kershaw have a great outing. And I'm glad to see Muncy look pretty decent at the plate. I was watching.
He got that hit. He got a key hit. He got a double. Was it a double or was it a single, long single?
It was a double.
Okay.
And he looked pretty damn good. So I'm glad. And Mookie, you can't give Mookie Betts 5 looks at the plate. He's going to hurt you. And he hit the ball hard a couple times, got nothing, but he hit that double down the line. So Turner was in the game, and he had a nice hit to the opposite field to drive in a run. Mm-hmm. And that's, little things like that's a professional at bat. When you're able to go oppo, knowing there's second and third, and you got, one out, you want to drive in that run, you go the opposite way, and that was a nice at bat. So I'm excited for the Dodgers tonight.
So the Yankees payroll is at 249, roughly 249 million, and 249 million, and the Dodgers is at 225. So, yes, the Yankees were decimated with injuries, yet they're still in it. They have that 2-1 lead. Or actually, no, they're tied. They're tied with the Rays right now, and they're actually playing right now. Tampa has the lead 1-0 right now. So, the Yankees
I would like to see Tampa Bay win. And I had said that Tampa Bay was going to win the American League.
Be a problem.
And I think they have a really good shot at it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, they do. But, from what I'm seeing right now, the Yankees have some outstanding power. Like, they have some hitters on that club. And they're, the Rays have some elite pitching. They've got, those two big main guys, Glasnow and Blake Snell. They got some good pitchers. Those pitchers.
Snell, he's Cy Young Award
last
winner.
year. He was a Cy Young winner last year, and he's already established himself as an elite pitcher. Didn't have it so much this year, but he's still pretty profitable.
Well, he won, right? He won his game.
Oh yeah. No, last night Glasnow was the one that won.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Snell.
Yeah, no, and then Glasnow, he has Carpotondo. He throws his fastball. They were showing it in pregame yesterday. His fastball, how he throws it because his fingers are so weird. He has to set it up in a certain way. So yeah, this kid is like Dustin May. He's 6'8". Doesn't get petrified when he faces anybody. Like, he doesn't care. But Dustin May though, oh my God, his pitch count and his we have.
I like Dustin May. I saw him a few years ago in spring training, and I went and got his rookie card. I said, man, this kid's going to be elite. There's just so much movement if he stays healthy. Mm-hmm. And then when he got hit with the pitch, remember he got hit in the head?
Yeah.
And I was really scared. I was like, oh, man, sometimes that'll affect the pitcher, but didn't affect this guy. He came right back with the same motion, and he gives you everything. He brings a kitchen sink with him, man.
The fact that we have him coming out of the pen is what drives me crazy. Like, he's not just – if you're a fan of another team, you look at Dustin May and you say, why isn't he the starter? And then you're a Dodger fan, you think, well, we got Kershaw, we got Buehler, we got Gonsolin, we got other guys that can throw just as fast, just as good. Actually, a little bit better because that's why they're in the starting rotation. So we don't need Dustin May in the starting rotation yet.
Yeah.
But Dustin May is making a case for.
He'll be a starter. He'll be one of the. I mean, let's just go what we have, win a championship, and then figure it all out next year about where he's going to be in the rotation.
Man, now, I just seeing how Kenta Maeda performed.
They moved Maeda and they moved Ryu and Hill for these young guys, for Buehler, May, and Gonsolin.
Yeah.
So they moved them because they knew that they had these young guys that were going to make up the difference.
Yeah.
And they have. I mean, you could go out and get an elite starter, Trevor Bauer, maybe next year, but why would you when you have these other guys that have already, especially if you win a championship. If
Trevor Bauer's going to demand a high contract either way.
What's that?
Trevor Bauer's going to demand a high contract, like in the.
Oh yeah, he's going to demand a lot of money.
Yep.
So we already paid a lot of money for Mookie, and then you got Seager that's going to demand some money. So, I stay with these young guys for a few years and see what they give us, and see how that goes.
Yeah. So again, we're stacked with talent, and Mookie Betts had an interview yesterday with Big Papi, David Ortiz.
Ortiz.
And he asked why did you choose LA? And they were interviewing him, and he clearly straight up said, I saw the talent with the Dodgers roster right now, and I see that every single year they're bringing up talent from their farm system that is productive immediately. Like, they're instantly pluggable. And that's what we're seeing from this Dodgers team. You see these players who are in the farm system, their first couple of weeks in the majors, they're impactful. They do things where veterans haven't done in years. And these kids are coming up and doing it like nothing. Walker Buehler is the most confident pitcher we have, and he had a bad night last night.
Right.
So it's not like you can't throw him away. He'd still shut down the Padres.
He's an elite pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
He's in that category. He has a live, what you'd say, a live arm.
Mm-hmm.
Him and May, and Gonsolin is more of a throwback to me. I mean, he doesn't throw in the 100-mile-an-hour Gonsolin. He could get giddy up about 95, 96, but he's more of a pitcher than a hurler. Remember, I've made that statement before. A hurler is someone who just brings you the cheese.
Yeah.
A pitcher will carve you up. He'll throw that slider. He'll throw that curveball. I like a Tony Gonsolin. He's going to be really, really good for the Dodgers.
Yeah, man. Just the future, thinking about it. These kids aren't even in their high mid 30s, high 20s.
We haven't even talked about Gonzalez.
Oh man, and he came out of nowhere too this year. Like it's not like he's been around for a minute. You mentioned it last
Right.
year. I mean last episode. I didn't even know that he was about to quit or he quit. And then I heard last night Joe Davis. Oh, thank you Fox for giving us Joe Davis. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh my God, Joe Davis is a breath of fresh air because you hear John Smoltz, you hear Joe Buck, and they're just trashing and dragging the Dodgers. Man. But now you hear Joe Davis, and he's informing everybody and letting them know, hey, Dustin May, he got hit in the head, and then he came back, and he almost got the Rookie of the Year award. You got these kids that are coming up, Victor Gonzalez, the stories that he tells about the Dodgers. He's not just telling you what's going on with the Dodgers in the game. He's also informing you about the Dodgers and who they have, rather than, oh, well, last year the Dodgers lost in the NLDS, and then, they drag. That's one thing that I really, really hate about national media doing the Dodgers games. They always talk about the negative. Dave Roberts took out Kershaw in the NLDS Game 5, and he left them out there to die. 2018, they failed. And rather than saying the Dodgers were cheated in 2017 and 18, they'd rather say the Dodgers lost the World Series to the Astros, to the Boston Red Sox. That's where they are. But you have someone like Joe Davis, he'll tell you, unfortunately, the Red Sox and the Houston Astros, they cheated in 2017, which is a stain in our sport. That's what we need to hear. We don't need to hear that the Dodgers lost.
The truth.
To hear we got cheated. That's what we need to hear.
Speak the truth.
Damn straight.
Well, Joe Davis, what a hell of a thing to do to try to replace Vin Scully.
Oh my God! Yes.
When the first year, people were hating on Joe Davis.
Yeah.
And the guy who protected Joe Davis was Oral Hershiser, because everybody loves Oral.
Yes.
Everybody loves Oral
Mm-hmm.
around the country. And not only Dodger fans, but he's admired. And Joe Davis was already, he was a Fox commentary, and he did play-by-play. But to do the Dodgers, it was a rough year. And I remember when the following year on Twitter, I wrote him, I said, you're doing a good job. I gave him a heads up. I boosted, gave him, he said, you know what, as a longtime Dodger fan, and, I gave him my story. I've been a Dodger fan since I was born. They came in 58. I was born in 58. They played their first game April 18th. 3 days later, I was born April 21st.
Damn.
So I followed the Dodgers ever since I could walk. And I told him, you know what? It was tough when Vinny left and you got ridiculed, but you've done a good job. And just keep on doing a good job. Just keep on talking about the team and knowing their history, and you'll be fine. I told him I enjoy your broadcast with Oral Hershiser. You guys are informative, you're interesting, and I appreciate it. And he wrote back to me. He said, thank you. I appreciate it from someone who's been a fan for the team for all these years. I said, yeah, well, no problem. I got your back. And I meant it. I like what he what he talks about and what he writes too sometimes on Twitter and stuff. So, and then I like Oral. He's very informative, and he tells you what's happening with the team, what are the players, what are their feeling. And as I've never played at a high level, but if you play the game and the game, then this guy's not just bullshitting you or just trying to get over on somebody. He's giving you the real deal, and I appreciate Oral and Joe Davis. They're really good. And you're right. I'm listening last night. I'm going, man, I'm glad Joe Davis is doing our game.
Yes. Oh, my God. It's a breath of fresh air to not listen to Joe Buck and drag these Dodgers down.
I hate Joe Buck.
He's a straight-up hater. But I got to meet Joe Davis on Twitter, man. He's just as approachable as he is on TV. He throws stuff out there on social media that makes you go, wow. Not only is he informative on TV, but he's informative on Twitter. He'll give up some.
And he's a family man too. He always puts pictures of his kids and stuff. I appreciate that.
And I got to meet him, I think 2017 or 2018. And I sent out a tweet. I remember I sent out a tweet and I said, hey, Joe, would it be okay if I got to meet you after the game? And he said, yes, just let security know that you're here to see me. And I thought, they're not gonna let me see him. They're probably just gonna, he's just saying that to be nice, to show face. So I still tried it. I still went up to the Vin Scully booth, and I waited, and I told security, hey, I'm here to see Joe Davis. And I showed him the tweet, and security said, okay, give me 1 minute. A couple of minutes later, Orel Hershiser comes out, and he says, hey, nice to meet you. And he takes off, goes to the elevator. Then Joe Davis comes out, and he literally stops and has a conversation with me, and he starts telling me, hey, I appreciate you reaching out to me on Twitter. It's been fun being here in LA. The fans are very nice. Everything's going great. And then I jokingly told him, hey, you're going to leave us with Joe Buck for the postseason? You can't do us a solid and stay. And Joe Davis said, hey, it's not my call. I just work for Fox, but if they want me to, I'll do it. And right then and there, I knew, man, Joe Davis is going to be a staple. And he had some shoes to fill. I mean, Vin Scully left some shoes to fill that no one else could fill, but Joe Davis is starting to fill them little by little. He's not going to ever replace Vin Scully. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying whatever Vin Scully left is never going to be touched, but Joe Davis made an easy transition into the next generation. So I'm happy where we're at with the Dodgers, and it goes beyond Joe Davis and Orel Hershiser. If you're ever at the game or you're listening, just listen to the games. Listen to the A's and Astros right now. You'll hear Dieter Ruhl, who is the organist of the Dodgers. Before him, it was Nancy B, and she did an amazing job. But Dieter Ruhl, oh my God, this man is a wizard. He'll listen to the broadcasters talk about a certain song or a certain, like anything that has to do with music, and then he'll play it in the organ without any notes or like I remember I interviewed him too. I have a video out there on Legendary Sports ORG on YouTube. And I interviewed him, and I asked him, how do you do that? And he said that he plays it by ear. So he doesn't even need to like have notes or look anything up. He plays everything by ear. Whenever you guys get the chance next season, or even right now with the Astros and A's playing at Dodger Stadium, listen to the organ in the background, and you'll hear music, modern and classic music. You'll just hear it. And then you have DJ Severe, who is the Dodger DJ. He was trolling the A's during batting practice. He was putting on some music, the Bang Bang with the Room, and then when Altuve went up, he put on a song that was talking about short people. So these guys that we have behind the scenes for the Dodgers are making life for the Dodger fan base so unique and wonderful, and it's the best in baseball. You listen to all these other broadcasters. No one comes close. Joe Davis and Alex Rodriguez is probably the biggest douche there is. In that ESPN night crew. Like, none of them want to admit, nobody wants to admit the Astros cheated. They'd rather say, oh, it's just a down year for the Astros. Despite all the facts and information that's out there, they'd rather sympathize with the Astros rather than call it what it is. So I love Joe Davis being on right now. I appreciate everything that he's doing, and I'm happy. I'm happy right now. I hope we get him for the World Series, but I doubt it because Joe Buck has his contract with Fox, and that's what I'm stuck with.
That Joe Buck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like Joe Buck.
So how you feeling about Kershaw tonight?
I think, well, obviously the first couple of innings going to be telltale. Mm-hmm. He's been pretty sharp. He's throwing that breaking ball, and if Kershaw pitches half the way he pitched in the last game, we have a real good chance of winning. I know everyone's down on Kershaw because of playoff Kershaw, and hey, it's baseball.
Yeah,
he's gonna give it his all, and if it's he's good enough to win. So we will see how it goes. I don't want him putting if he hits the spots, he's going to be fine.
Oh, yeah,
but if he doesn't
forget about it. We're going to be up 2-0, plain and simple.
Yeah, as long as he hits the spot, we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And, one thing bothers me is that umpires, these guys,
garbage.
I'd rather see an electronic umpire. My son and I go back and forth. He goes, no, but that doesn't make. I go, look, if you know what the box is, and if it's consistent, then as a hitter, that's all you want is consistency.
Yes.
But some of these umpires, like Buehler, got raked last night. He hit some low pitches that were borderline calls that he didn't get the call, and then they went to the electronic box, and it shows that it was in the strike zone. I'm like, come on, man. You got to give him that pitch. But if the umpire doesn't see that, then you're never going to get that pitch. So that's the problem I have with the umpires. You know, they're not. Some of them are not consistent, and they have too much power in a game, and that's a problem. So I'm the advocate for the electronic box and have an umpire behind the plate to call safe and out on plays at home, and to throw the ball back to the pitcher, and he could sit behind the catcher like he normally does. But the balls and strikes should come from anything close should come from a buzzer or something in the umpires.
So moving forward, would you still want the DH in the National League?
You know, wow. I'm a purist.
Okay.
So I like
pitchers?
the pitchers to bat, but what that does is it really shows what a manager is capable of doing to produce runs. You know how he has his fingerprint or his thumbprint on the game. Otherwise, all you got to do is sit there and let your DH hit, and your pitch, just watch the pitcher. If he's not doing well, pull him out. I mean, a monkey could do that.
Sure.
You know, seriously. I mean, so I'm not for that, but I do like, which Oral does not like. No, Oral does like. Who said that he didn't like? Someone said they didn't like it in extra innings, putting the runner at second base. You know, it's Kershaw. Kershaw said, I don't like the idea of starting a runner at second base in extra innings. He says that's not baseball. Well,
so, yeah, you know what? And that whole starting at second base extra innings is I don't know. It's not down with that. That's one thing.
See, everybody has their own opinion on that.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. It brings a little excitement to the game.
It's supposed to move it faster, but you look at that Dodger game where it ended up going 13 innings, so it didn't help out that much.
Well, it can if you bunt the guy over to third base and then manufacture a run. It can do something.
Egotistical, man. They're just not about that whole bunt.
Well, some guys can't bunt, Jay.
Oh my God, even worse.
Bunting's an art.
Yeah.
And Maury Wills was at Dodger camp for years and years. I don't know if he's there now. Uncle Maury. I remember talking to D. Gordon. I met him when he was with the Dodgers. I think his rookie year. There was a signing at my friend's cousin's card shop, and he was there. And afterwards, we were able to close the doors, and I was able to talk to him. And he told me, he goes, I learned a lot from Maury Wills.
The king,
Uncle Maury, that's what they call him. And he D. Gordon could bunt. He was fast. I mean, that's part of the game that is no longer there. They call it little ball, moving a runner over, but everyone likes a home run. Hell, who doesn't like a home run? Yeah. But there's a part of the game where you need to put runners in scoring position, and that's where the manager, has to have someone who could bunt. Now, if you got a big dude that's up there who's just a slugger, and he doesn't know how to bunt, then or doesn't bunt that often, then you have problems. Who's a great bunter is Bellinger. Yeah, Bellinger's a great bunter.
Yeah,
he could bunt, and on that shift, every time he comes up, he could lay a bunt down the third baseline and run it out. He's so fast. But do you want Bellinger bunting? To move a runner over? No, you want Bellinger swinging to try to get a home run or a double or a base hit. So,
hey, the coaching challenge in the NBA started this season, right? Or was it last season?
You challenge in the NBA, you get a challenge, and if you lose it, you lose a timeout.
Yeah.
If you win it, then you get your timeout back, but you don't get another challenge.
Whack.
You only get one. It should be 1.5.
Yes. The NFL does that. You could use it 1.5, right?
1.5 is fine.
Yeah.
It's not going to slow down the game. They should have, and they should change that rule in the NBA. Have a challenge, 1.5. And this way, like last night when LeBron James says, I didn't touch the ball, he went up to block a shot. They said it went off him. I think a Hero threw it up off
it touched the backboard,
top of the backboard, right?
Yeah.
And he says, I didn't touch the ball. So they challenged it. The Lakers won the challenge.
But they didn't get the challenge back.
You get the timeout, but you don't get another challenge. And
and it sucks.
That was in the first half.
And it was stuck in a situation where now you're in a position where you're down 2 and a certain play went the other way that is obviously yours and you can't do anything about it. You just got to take the lumps. The only thing that can get challenged without any actual coaching challenge is it has to be under a minute. Under a minute left, you could, review plays, out of bounds, like little things. But that's on the refs. That's on the refs that they want to do.
That's all on the power of the referee.
Yeah, but
see, that's another thing. You're giving the ref too much power.
Yeah.
You should give the coaches some power for them to review and to look over, and not to have such an ego where they won't be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
2 challenges a game, 2 of them, one in each half would be the perfect solution for that. So yeah. Hey, so the Rams play this weekend in Washington, Jay.
Yes, sir. Let me throw on some. So, it's Washington. That's right. I thought it was. I thought it was. What is it? The Giants.
The Washington football team.
Just dumb. Like they not have someone in marketing that could give them a better name. Like really, are we this dumb in Washington that you can't? They got Trump over there, so I can't really deny the fact that
they changed the quarterback. Haskins is not going to quarterback. They're bringing in, I guess, Allen's going to quarterback. And the Washington football team is a mess. Homeboy has cancer, right? The coach, Ron Rivera.
Yes. What it's like? It's in the throat, right? Like somewhere in the throat.
I believe so, and he's battling cancer. So, that team has been a bad team for a long time. Mm-hmm. But we can't go in there thinking like we did against the Giants. The Rams didn't play a good game last Sunday, and we have to be able to go in there and dominate this game. No ifs, ands, or buts. There's not an injury report from last Sunday out yet because it's a Wednesday. Usually you get an injury report on Thursdays.
Okay.
But Whitworth probably said, because what they usually do is put Whitworth on the injury report, and just because he doesn't practice all that much because he's such an older guy, and he knows what he's doing. But I didn't see anybody getting hurt.
But COVID is starting to spread.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, Cam Newton doesn't play, and Gilmore now tested positive for COVID.
Yep.
Gilmore, the D-back for the New England Patriots. And after the game, he was all up in Mahomes' face, talking and laughing and hugging after the game, and look, it's just a matter of time before these. I don't understand. I saw Keyshawn Johnson and I forget the guy who does ESPN analyst.
Oh, it's not Marcellus Wiley. Stephen A.
The guy, it's a white kid with his name's called something with an O. He was a former quarterback.
Oh, Dan Orlovsky. He had said, look, there's enough money to be made. It would take $200 million per club to make sure that they're in some type of bubble. And per team. They don't have to be in a bubble, everybody there, but just put the team in a bubble, right? And this way they're able to go back and forth without the COVID's not coming from the field. The COVID's coming from the outside in, meaning these guys going with their cousins, birthday party. Like I just said earlier about my brother-in-law's sister, you go to a birthday party, someone has COVID, all of a sudden that's a super spreader. Everybody gets it. Yeah.
So, and then, so we all knew Cam Newton was sick on Friday. Well, it takes 5 to 7 to 8 days for it to incubate, then come out.
For the symptoms to appear, yeah.
So,
well, you're not gonna probably like this then. the Miami Dolphins, they got approved by the governor to have full capacity at their stadiums.
Oh, Jesus, that is stupid.
Yep.
That's beyond stupid.
Yep. That's from TMZ. Not even like, you know what's gonna happen, right? Like, one owner is gonna see this and say, "Hey, Miami can have fans. Why can't we have fans?" And then before you know it, you have fans at stadiums. And then before you know it, immediately after that, you're gonna have another spike in COVID cases.
Well, it's up to the governors of each state to determine if they could have.
Yes.
And so this guy DeSantis, whatever his name is, over in Florida, he's an idiot. He's a Trump supporter. He's an idiot, and he wants to have fans in the stands. He wants to open up Disneyland, Disney World, everything down there.
Disney World's been open.
But he wants it at full capacity.
Oh my God, no. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Everything in Florida has been open since like June, so they're not taking care of any. They don't care, and it's not gonna help the case right now that people just saw Trump get COVID, quote unquote, get COVID, and then recover in 3 days, and then come up and say it's not that bad, so don't even worry about it. You guys can go about your day. Don't let anybody scare you. So you have all these people just saying, well, don't be a sheep. You don't have to wear a mask. If the president didn't, he's like in his 60s or 70s.
He's 74.
So this isn't helping. Like, what's going on right now is not helping, and all it's gonna do is people are gonna die, plain and simple. People are gonna die. Where at the moment, from the beginning, right from the beginning, back in March, back in February, it should have been everything's locked down. We're not opening up, but you're getting paid to make sure that you're fed and taken care of. But no. We're in a soft lockdown. If you need to go to work, it's okay. If you want to be out, just make sure you're 6 feet apart. All these little regulations that are dumb and are worthless just didn't work out. We were never in full lockdown to really contain this spread. And, at this point, it's like, well, it looks like it's just going to be whoever dies, dies. And
well, the NFL is not going to finish. I know that they're saying, well, the Players Association okayed a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's only going to take. Look, what if a team can't play 5 games this season because of COVID? What if they can't play 3? How in the hell is that fair to everybody else? Who decides? Is it going to be like, oh, okay, we're just going to get the Patriots. We're going to throw in this team. We're going to go for the last 5 years who had the best winning percentage. How is it going to be determined? Because wins and losses is not going to determine it, because they're not going to be able to play the game. The Tennessee Titans today again had 2 or 3 more players come down with COVID. They're going to miss the next game. So how do you determine a winner? How do you determine a champion if you got to shut a team down 2 to 3 weeks? Like I said before, Jay, it's not like baseball or basketball where you can play double headers or back-to-back games. Football players put themselves through a grueling test. Mm-hmm. People get hurt really bad and injured. And it's like a modern-day slave ownery. This is a 2020 NFL are like the NFL teams, to me, seems like the plantations, and these guys are the slaves, and they have to play, or else they're not going to get paid. We'll find someone else to play.
Yep.
They're not thinking about the players and the longevity of the outcome of this disease. This disease gives you long-term health issues with your breathing, with your lungs. These are great athletes, and some of the greatest athletes in the world in great condition. But this thing will take them down. And unfortunately, we're in the 4th game of the season. We're in the 4th game of the season, and our Rams are traveling to the East Coast for the 3rd time. To the 3rd time, we're traveling to the East Coast. We've been to Philadelphia. We've been to Buffalo. And now we're going to Washington. What is wrong with this picture? This is ridiculous. So I'm optimistic. I'm hoping for the best for our Rams, but I think eventually we're going to get caught up, and we're not going to be able to finish the season. something stupid's going to happen somewhere.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's just the reality of the situation.
The only sport that really got it right was the NBA, but it worked for them because their season was pretty much over. They just needed to make up 8 games and then go into the playoffs. But so the amount of teams that they had to hold in a bubble was minimal, 22 teams, and then it went down to the actual 16, the actual 16, and then from there gradually less and less teams. So the bubble worked out for the NBA. For the NFL, it's more expensive. However, they could have done something that the MLB, similar to the MLB, split them up into just playing their own
regions.
Sections. So just leave it at that. Like they should have done that. No bubble, but still have West or East or NL, like whatever divisions they want to just separate, and then play a playoff. Like
it was this was not thought out.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It really wasn't.
Or was it?
Out there. No.
They just didn't give a shit.
Yeah, no, they don't care. They don't care. I mean, come on, really? Like
doesn't matter.
They don't care because there's no. You look at the way they take care of their players compared to every other league. Owners don't care about their players. You have owners just throwing it out there like, we don't care. You have racist remarks out of their own owners.
Right.
You have scandals.
The offensive lineman longevity.
Yeah.
The average is like 4 years.
They don't even believe in CTE. They don't believe in mental health issues. And these are real facts that are out there. So and the NFL just wants to profit as much as possible. That's plain and simple. It is. And I get it. That's what every sport owner wants to do. But you see it from everybody else. MLB really cares about their players a lot more than the NFL. At least they're trying a bubble. The NFL, and they tried separating divisions, East and West. They tried it, and it worked out for the best. But the NFL is just like, the only difference, we're not going to have fans. But now you look at Florida, and it's like, we're going to have fans. And then you look at the Chiefs, and we're going to have a portion of fans. It's only a matter of time before these owners say, I want to get paid too, so we're going to open it up. They're going to, go to their governor.
Well, like I said before, Jay, it's not as simple as the owner saying we're going to have fans. It's up to the governor of that state
and to determine. They're going to go. California has, 3-4 professional football teams? They're going to go.
We had 2.
The Chargers, the 49ers.
Oh, we have 3. 49ers and the Rams.
And the Rams. So there's 3. I'm not saying the Rams and the Chargers and, the people out here are like that. But there's other states, you look at New York. They got the Giants and they got the Jets. If they want fans, they want to get paid, they have easy access. Those billionaires have doors open for them. They could easily access the governor's office without having to wait in line, without having
I think Cuomo is the governor of New York. He won't allow that to happen.
I mean,
but if you're talking about Georgia, the Atlanta Falcons, you're talking about the southern states, Texas. I could see that happening.
Yeah,
I could very well see that happening.
Yeah, so
but
some of these players
what's going to do is,
and they're going to have exposure to the athletes, and then who do the athletes have exposure to? Other athletes. So it's only a matter of time before it really spreads out into the NFL, and now we have to cancel the season because obviously.
Yeah, I don't see the season. I've talked to my buddies of mine, and we talked over the phone over the NFL. We're all big NFL guys, and we've all come to a conclusion that if they play the full season, we'll be very lucky.
Yeah.
But I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I don't see us. We're in game 4.
Yeah.
And we've already have issues with several teams, and it's just we're not even finished 1 quarter of it. So by the time we get to game 8, 9, we will see pretty much what's going to happen.
And a lot of these guys aren't really about that bubble life. They're not really about being, quarantined and taking care of themselves in that matter. They want to party. They want to be out.
Oh yeah, young guys.
Like this is what players and athletes want to do. They want to be out and doing their thing, messing around. So yeah,
that's the difference between a champion and someone who just wants to play the game.
Yeah,
there's a big difference.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that. This one I really don't think it is going to finish out because it's just a matter of time before one team comes in contact with another team that does have it without knowing, and that team travels to another team, and then once they realize they got it, they already came in contact with 1 or 2 other teams, because these tests do take a couple of days, and then So, they come in contact with friends and family. They're out and about. Some of these other states, they don't have regulations. They don't have any quarantines, and they're open, like just no closures. So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and unfortunately for the NFL, we're gonna suffer, and we're gonna be left.
Well, what
without
about
any
the?
sports.
Let's talk about the Storm. Did you see the Storm won the WNBA championship
Oh yeah,
last night?
congratulations to the Seattle Storm, and
Yeah.
what is oh my god, I can't believe I forgot her name already.
Simmons.
No, not Simmons. Seattle Storm. Let me see. Seattle Storm. The new she got 6 championships.
Yeah, she's 40 years old. What's her name?
I'm
Is
about
it
to find
I
out
thought
right
it
now.
was Simmons or Simpson but yeah, she's a
Sue Bird.
great. What's that?
Sue Bird.
Sue Berg. Oh, Sue Berg.
Yeah. Sue
She.
Bird. She's got 6 titles. Congratulations, Seattle.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. 6. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff, man. I mean, my son and I went and saw a Sparks game a couple years ago. We were at the Staples. He was in from Texas. That's when he was living in Texas. And the Sparks are playing a day game. I said, let's go check out the Sparks. So we went in there, and they're good ball players, man. It was a really good, entertaining game. We had a great time, and I'm glad to see that the Storm has won, and she won her 6th championship, and Sue Berg is doing her thing.
Yes, sir.
Good for her and good for that team.
I think they said that she was retiring. Like she was officially gonna retire. So congratulations to her. 6 titles. She's up there with Jordan now. And
Yeah.
Crazy. That's crazy. The Sparks though. Candace Parker. They got some players. Yeah. Congratulations. It's cool. We're gonna be left without sports if it gets too crazy. We're gonna be left without any sports from November till what? I'm hearing January is when the NBA wants to restart again. So we're gonna be left without any sports for about 2 months. I mean, we went from March, April, or was it June when it was shut down? No,
it was January, February, March. It was shut down in April or May.
April to July, right?
Yeah.
Or August. Well, whatever the case.
July.
We went like 3 months without any sports, and that was the worst time. It was the worst time. We had nothing to
no sports, nothing.
We were just listening to everything bad about the United States riots and peaceful protests, killings, the death of like all this was just so. Right now we're getting distracted. Right now we're a little distracted, and it's good. But we're gonna go 2 months without.
We need sports.
Fortunately,
it keeps us.
We're gonna have November is Thanksgiving. Let's see how that goes. So it's Thanksgiving, fall, and then we have December. You get to start watching those classic Christmas movies. I'm a huge fan of the Hallmark Channel.
Right on.
Man, they have some movies out there that are very corny, very cheesy, but they put you in the spirit. I'm
an action guy, man. Anything with the machine gun and going in and blowing stuff up, I'm watching that. My father-in-law was like, does it have action? I said, yeah, it has good action. So Bruce Willis, Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, those guys. I like that action. I could watch that stuff over and over.
What's your favorite action movie? Right at the top of your head.
Well, I like Red.
Oh, okay.
That's a good movie. Willis is in it. I just like the spy movies. No thrillers. Just go in and blow shit up.
Spy movies. Do you like the new 007 movies?
Some of them are pretty good. I have a friend of mine who's a huge 007. His name's George Allman. He's an actor. And everything shut down for him. He was kind of bummed out because he was in a feature movie, and it was all shut down. And the backer who was banking the movie backed out.
Damn.
Because of COVID, and he was bummed out because I went to high school with him, and he's a really good actor, and I think this would have been his breakout, and he was really bummed out, but he's a huge 007 fan. I mean, just huge. And I like some of 007 movies. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in for the action movie, which one I want to watch
I
that
feel
day.
you. I feel you.
And,
I really love those
yeah.
007 movies, especially the music. I like if the music goes with the movie. Oh, masterpiece. Avengers, man. Yo, the biggest thing about 2020 that I'm heard about, I waited my entire life for Top Gun 2.
Oh,
And I get like literally
yeah,
like
got canceled, huh?
2 months before the movie comes
Yeah,
out, theaters shut down. And I was
yeah.
like looking
Well, I heard the
so.
Regal's not going. The Regal went under.
Oh my! Well, I don't doubt. I mean, what can they really do? Like, no theaters are open,
Yeah.
nothing's open. So I'm surprised. AMC and everything's out. I'm surprised. I'm surprised they're not all bankrupt.
So I live in Fullerton. I was driving down the street yesterday, downtown Fullerton. All these shops are closing, which is sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
You know, small businesses. So if anyone is hearing me, buy food from small businesses.
Yes.
Go to your mom and pop.
Mm-hmm.
Go to your and buy food from them. Go to your local coffee shop, mom and pop. Starbucks, they make enough money. But go to the mom and pop places and
Yes.
buy your stuff from them because they're in need right
Yep.
now.
Yep, I'm with you on that. Start buying from your local grocery store, not from your Walmart.
So we're gonna get ready for the Dodgers. Let's go Dodgers.
In less than an hour.
When's the first pitch? An
30
hour?
minutes. In 30 minutes.
All right.
Is it
I'm
30
ready.
minutes? Yeah, well, it's a little bit over 30 minutes. It's at 6:08. 6:08 our time, 9:08 East Coast time, which no one cares about the East Coast other than the East Coast people, but the West Coast is the best coast. Boston, y'all suck.
West Coast.
Y'all got titles so dusty, no one remembers. You got titles before. Look, out of the 36 titles that guy was talking about, 29 of them came before 1987. So
Oh,
get out
okay.
of here. Get out of here with your championship years. And if Foxborough is not part of Boston, yo, let's include
I
the
want
Angels.
to know if they're gonna wheel out Bill Russell to give the trophy to
Oh my
LeBron
God,
James.
yo. Look,
Poor
I
Bill
can't-
Russell. That guy is
He's a
oh
character.
man, how old is that guy?
He's
About
a
100?
character. He's a character.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that. He's constantly flipping off the camera. He's constantly talking trash. Like he's a character. I respect him for that. And it's just a damn shame that he ended up being a Boston Celtic player.
Right.
Bastards. Bastards. It was that close. But whatever. We are obviously the better city. We are obviously
That's right.
more profitable.
We have the sunshine. We have I love LA.
We have everything. We got the music. People move out here. How often do you hear someone say, "I'm gonna go move to Boston and live out there"? Nobody can live in Boston. No, even Tom Brady left. Even Tom Brady left. So what? Like, yeah, Boston ain't got nothing to LA. We got the weather. We got the views. We got the. Even right now that Disneyland's closed, downtown Disney is still more fun than Boston Gardens. Come on. Boston, y'all ain't got nothing on LA. Y'all got nothing on LA. Y'all want to retire in LA, but you guys can't.
That's
afford
right.
it.
They want to come here and retire.
Yes, sir.
They want to come here and I hate meeting people from Boston and LA.
Yeah.
I like Boston. Oh,
That's all they. Yeah, that's all they got. They got Boston Celtics and whatever. Your 29 titles before 1987 are dusty. Go clean them up.
That Boston team might get broken up before they might lose a couple players.
Hey, I'm hoping we end up with Jason Tatum because realistically we should have drafted Jason
Magic
Tatum
blew
instead
the
of Lonzo.
friggin' Lonzo Ball. What the hell was
What
that?
a waste. What a waste of our time. But it is what it is. We got Anthony Davis. And then I'm glad. I remember I was so mad that we gave up Brandon Ingram and a bunch of picks and a bunch of players for Anthony Davis. But we still have 4 first-round picks the next 6 years. The Clippers don't have one until 2028 or 2030.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they got Paul George out there who they don't even want, and they're gonna get broken up. That team is gonna go bait.
Yeah, they're gonna blow it up. They're gonna do the
So
same thing.
hey, you know what? Boston, take the Clippers with you. Y'all, they're just a big choke jog, just like you guys. So take them with
There
you.
you go.
But yes, 30 minutes away from game 2. Let's get that 2-win series against these Padres and shut them up because they are, oh my God, they're loudmouth. They are so talkative. These Padre fans, oh my God, they're on another level. They're on that. They're talking as if they were the Boston Red Sox or Celtics.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Lakers.
After we take care of the Padres, I'm going to take a drive down to San Diego. There's a hamburger place I like down there. I'm going to wear my Dodger Mookie Betts jersey and my hat. Go get me a hamburger and
Let's get it. Oh man, you gotta take a lot of pictures, take a lot of videos as you're rolling by. just play that LA music while you're down there too.
That's
Man.
it.
All right, so great stuff, Mike. Appreciate you being on. But let everybody know where they can catch you.
Oh, you catch me on Twitter at OGLA Rams fan, or on Instagram at OGLA Rams fan. Yes. Or here on Facebook, Mike Pugrad. You can catch me there too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So thank you, Mike, for being on. Game 2, 30 minutes away. Friday, we are gonna get title number 17, and we are gonna celebrate next year, hopefully, in one huge party. LA.
That's right.
Best city in the United States. This
That's right.
is a sports town, the sports town, and the landing spot for everybody. So hate all you want. We got the best. We are the best. Everybody that's still out there, have a great night. Be safe. See you guys on Friday, and be well.